Welcome back, everybody. We're playing Fallout Shelter and relating it to supply chain operations. You'll notice our power is getting a little drained. That was to be expected. We had. Oh, just gonna move my mic here. We had the normal amount, but I had a gut feeling that it was gonna start dropping, so we pulled Peter Snow from the Stimpack room or wherever he was, the Radaway room, and you'll see that the consumption rates are higher now. Fortunately, people are getting trained. Anthony now has a 5. Lisa now has a 5. I think pretty much everybody is around a 5. Sarah has a 7. 7 strength. What a beefcake Sarah is. Evelyn's getting her athletics built up. Diane has a 6. Anna Frost is getting a little beefier and stronger. Sarah as well. Laura's getting more agile. And Vincent is getting better. He's gonna be probably the one that we leave in there no matter what. Same with Sarah. I gave them the fancy clothes, whatever they're called, formal wear, to sort of keep track of them as identifiers. I like using outfits as identifiers as much as possible. So these are our new trainees with the new agility. We're probably gonna have to bring somebody in. It's late right now. It's nighttime, as you can see in game. But I wanted to make sure that I checked everybody for training before I called it a day. And you can see how many people are ready for training. I'm not going to do the swapping out thing quite as much. What's this going to do for us? See, that's good. Room on fire. There's 3 of them. Robot. All right, can you guys get in there and help? You're just making stim packs. We have enough stim packs probably, yeah. So go put out that fire. While they're doing that, we're going to check on Justin. Yeah, Justin didn't do so great. He's already down to 4 stim packs. He's only been out for 8 hours. So it took him 10 stim packs? He's not even... Wow, that's pretty bad. Well, he's not really ready. You know, we put him out there. He did get us a handyman jumpsuit, which is great. It's a +3. That's what we're going for. A couple kind of mediocre, 2 to 4. Rusty hunting rifle. We're going to bring him back. All right, time for you to come back, Justin. Good work. He got us at least something. So that's all right. We are bringing back Jacob. He's running out of sim packs. I wasn't sure if I was going to be able to get back in time tonight, or that I was going to remember to check this. So I just wanted to play it safe and bring him back because reviving him would probably be quite a bit because he's level 30. But he picked up quite a bit of stuff, and by morning, he will be back at the vault. What about the other guy? Yeah, Justin will be back too. So we're going to have quite a bit of loot. We're probably going to go over our limit. It's 25. Hopefully we have craft 5 weapons. Ugh. They keep trying to push us to do things that we don't want to do. We don't want to do that. We don't want to do that right now either. This we can clear up, but I mean, it's getting tough. It's getting real tough. There's so few lunch boxes that they are giving us now. Like, look at our daily report. We're getting 94%, 93. People are happy. We're doing a good job, but we're not really getting the rewards that we deserve. We're getting challenges that all these are going to do is pull us in directions that we don't want to go right now. We don't want the weapon crafting room, as I stated, because the energy consumption is extreme. It sucks up a lot of energy, and we don't have that right now. I would rather put that energy into training and getting people, from 5 to 10. 10 being best. Why is there only 2 people here? Wow, they are really producing, these two. Good job. Good job. They are really cranking it out. See, I mean, we could even probably pull her and train her, but I don't think we have an extra room. No. We somebody back there? Yeah. So again, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14. Half of our vault is training. That's a really good spot to be. We are getting into a little bit of a shaky time with our power. We are at halfway pretty much with our food and water, but our productivity is up there. We're getting a plus 10% because people are happy because we were strategic with basically getting people together. Obviously real relationships are more complicated, but this is working. So I think we can leave it at that for now. Our vault is looking very nice. We are dealing with a lot of stuff very well. I'm a little concerned we might have to upgrade this, or we might have to sell off some gear. That's pretty much the only two choices we have. So, because everybody pretty much has a weapon, we are probably only going to keep a couple spares around, like 1 or 2, but in order to bring them in, you need to have the full amount ready. So how much? We should check that. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, 22, 23, 24, 25. And we have room for 25. Look at that. So if we bring in what Jacob has and then sort out exactly what we want, there's a very good chance I'm probably just going to sell off all the common junk, because that's quite a few here. Globes, I'm going to check to see what we're going to need for the rusty laser pistols. Remember, one of our people has them here. Who has it? You have a laser rifle. There you go. Jerry has it. So this is a 7 damage weapon. This is really the best, one of the 2 best common weapons that you can make. The other one being the 6 to 8 enhanced sawed-off shotgun. They do have different materials, but again, we're going to have to make those, which means we're going to have to make energy, which means we're going to have to make more power rooms, which means we're going to have to destroy these and move them. We're going to move this down here, and we're going to get rid of this and probably upgrade the living quarters or make another one here. It's actually better to have 2. I think the power consumption is slightly higher if you have like one of these and a 3 wide, other than upgrading it. I'm not entirely sure. It's not a huge difference, but these little differences do add up, and they are kind of important. But even if we move this down here, move this down here, and then move this power room over, we're going to have to destroy it, which is not great because we put a lot of money into it. Or we could just make 2 power rooms here and put like 1 person in each one. That's something we can do. I've never done that before. I wonder how that would work. The emergencies would be taken care of really easily. That's one of the great things about these small rooms, is emergencies are over in a snap. Anyways, so we're going to leave it there. I hope you're enjoying the series so far. Again, if anyone has any questions or any comments, positive comments, of course, constructive comments, please feel free. And I hope everyone's learning about not only the game, but about supply chain operations. I hope you have a great night. And in this video, we will be coming back shortly with the next morning, and we'll see what happens then. Thanks for watching. Okay, everybody. Welcome back to Vault 333. Good morning. At least this is morning for me now. I did manage to get a couple more checks for people with the training last night, which is why you see a couple people are still ready to be trained, but that's great. People are here, they're ready to be trained. I did find out what was going on with the storage capacity, and it's how big these rooms are, not how upgraded they are. So they actually have to be larger to hold more stim packs, which is kind of hilarious because stim packs don't take up that much room, but okay. Anyways, so we're going to have to rebuild these at some point, which is a little bit of a hassle, especially because they are rather expensive, aren't they? It's 500. We're making a fair bit of caps with the things that we're doing, so that's not too bad. Let's just look at our challenges. All right, collect 10 weapons. Craft 5 weapons. See, these two are pretty much dead, so I'm not going to worry about them. Oh, I was going to check about the weapon construction. I'll be back in a moment. Okay, so I just did a quick check. Whoop. Kind of ignoring things here. Look at that. A bunch of people just were finished their training. So let's take a quick look. I know it was zooming in kind of a little too much last time. So these ladies here, they should both be at 5s. Jacob is at a 6. Anna's at a 6. I don't know why it keeps zooming me in like that. They're at 7s. 5, 6, 6, 7. They're getting beefy, getting strong. Agility is 7, 5. This is kind of weird doing it this zoomed in, but I don't want to keep popping it in and out. It's so distracting. Perception of 6, perception of 6. Is that everybody? I guess that's everybody. So our people are getting very well trained, and the training times will go up, but if we just leave them in there and keep an eye on it, it'll be great. So as far as the crafting is concerned, it's a good idea to know what your bill of materials is for future constructions if you can find out, and we did. So essentially, these are junk. We're just going to get rid of those immediately. And we're going to collect. Why am I collecting the smaller amount first? That's a good question. Why am I collecting the smaller amount first? So I think we had just enough room. We're just going to sell this crap. This is all junk. We don't need it. It does 1 damage. I'm not holding on to the junk for it. We're not going to be producing anything. We can get those materials back. I'm not overly concerned about that. So that frees up a little bit of room, because I really don't want to expand this room, because it will be a significant jump, if I remember correctly. So let's see, Jacob. Is there anything we can eliminate immediately? Like common things like thread. These are going to build like common armor. The thread, the glove, more thread, more thread. See, they're relatively common. Come on, guys. You got it under control? Yes, you do. Good stuff. How far away is the outfit workshop? That's 32. That's getting into the zone where we're not quite sure. But those are very common materials, so it's actually more efficient to store outfits and then to recycle them because you will get components. And if they're very common components, we don't have to worry about it. It's like scrapping steel. You know what I mean? Like, you can melt steel down and make something out of it indefinitely, right? Steel is the one reason we use steel in manufacturing is because it is so incredibly, let's just get rid of that, so incredibly recyclable. Pistol, I guess we'll see. All right. So is there anything we're going to miss out? We're just going to lose these radiation packs and the stim packs because we don't have room for them. But whatever. Let's not worry about that. Let's just collect it. Now we apparently are running out of room, so let's okay, so we got a sniper rifle recipe. Not the best, but we got our challenge done. Now it wants us to scrap. After we just sold those other ones, they want us to scrap, of course. Of course. So, scrapping weapons, right? Do we even have any that we can scrap? We can scrap this one. No junk recovered. Yeah, that's the other thing with low-grade weapons, is you don't really get a whole lot from it. Where are we at with our storage? So we have 6 left. How many are you bringing in there, bud? See, now I don't want to sell these. I want to scrap them, and now I got to mess around my... You know what? I don't want to do it. I don't want to do it. All right, so I'm going to have to do a little bit of fine-tuning. What room is this? That's the strength room? All right, we're going to get her some battle armor. And you, perception, wasteland medic. Remember that there's that sort feature. It's very useful. What is this, agility? Agility. Oh, I did this the wrong way. What about you? What are you wearing back there? Hiding in the corner? This is agility, isn't it? Yeah. So, Raider armor? Raider armor is actually pretty good. We should give that to we should give that to you, actually. It's not exactly the best kind of work outfit, but we'll just deal with it for now. Can we get you in here? Yeah, okay. So collect. So now we have our man, Justin Stewart. Let's just put him in here for now. And we'll just put you in here. Actually, do you need to heal up? We'll just put him in here to heal up for now. Oh, yeah, right. We could put them both in here and they'll just hang out. My brain went to baby making, and I'm like, yeah, I don't think they'll need to make babies. All right. Where'd you go, buddy? There he is. All right, so they're going to heal up over there. Chill out. It's a good time to have some free time to talk. All right, good. So they're going to be hanging out. What was our challenge? Recycling weapons or outfits. Okay. So we're just going to... Can't scrap when your inventory's full. See? Ugh. I hope I don't regret this. Okay, so I made a backup of our save in case the power consumption is too high. Some people might see that as a cheat. I see that as an option because if we upgrade this and it's too much, then we're just in trouble. Oh, it actually wasn't that bad. Okay. What if we do it again? Nope. Don't go out of control. So you gotta make sure you keep your inventory under control. All right, these guys are healing up well. We're gonna need to put Justin back in perception training. So we're going to need to choose one of our perception workers to go back in. I think they have 6s. Yeah, they have 6s. What do you two have? You 6s as well. Okay. So if everybody has 6s, we might as well just bring you in, bud. And we're going to give him Wasteland Medic because he's going to be training. And he doesn't necessarily need the most powerful weapon. We'll give him a more powerful weapon because he's more active and he's going to be dealing with larger threats because he's in a larger room. So as I'm poking along, I'm going to be upgrading people's weapons. I can do that off screen. You guys don't need to go through all that. Our man Jacob, Our man Jacob picked up a hardened combat shotgun, which is not bad. That is a blue weapon, I believe. Yeah, it's got to be blue. So that's the second tier. That's a rare. So that's quite good. Now, we need to decide if we are going to send him right back out. He's super happy. He loves being out there, so that's a good thing to see. Some dwellers actually really don't like going into the wasteland, and you need to pay attention to that. Okay? Because they do, I think they don't do as well if they're not happy. Jacob loves it out there, so, I mean, we can just send him out there, right? The training aspect of it, see, let's look at it this way from a resource perspective. We have 28 people. 14 of them are training right now, which is great. And if we were to train him, we would have to pull someone out. I would like to train up his strength and his perception and his agility. Like, I want to train him full if possible on those, but that's going to take some serious time. So we need to make sure that we don't need him to be out there. Like, this is a requirement thing, a risk versus reward. The risk isn't that high, but if we were to train him for a couple of days and then send him out, he'll get way better stuff. Because we already saw he got like a couple of things that were okay. If we train him up more, he'll get better stuff. So what can we do here? We have people training. I kind of want to keep these people in training. He's going to end up, leveling up. Probably and not getting huge endurance. I haven't had any confirmation. I've been getting numbers all over the place as far as endurance. And a lot of places say at the very least, like 35 is on the high end and 30 is on the low end. For mole rats, I know I go on about it. Once you get attacked by mole rats, the game changes. So no longer is it so much little raiders. Like, there'll be more raiders that attack. There'll be more situations that happen. We'll just put Jacob in there for now. He'll back them up. No, can you click the guy, please? All right, so we'll do a quick weapons check. Everything's exploding. Notice how all of our resources are getting hit, but they're not getting hit too bad. We'll just click that. All right, guys, do your work. Get rid of those dirty rotten raiders trying to steal our stuff. See, really, we should just have some trade. A great trade mechanic would be if they went out and got stuff and we just paid them for it. Yeah, we'll pick that battle armor up. We could use that, probably. Where'd the other one go? She passed out. There she goes. All right, we win. Good work, everyone. They get happy. They get experience. Yeah, your power room people are they're gonna level up quicker. So it's a bit of a jam. with the whole endurance thing, actually, it bothers me a little bit. I wish, I don't want to say I wish, because a wish is, I, I would prefer if we were able to train up our endurance now. That would be optimal, but we can't do it. So we can train people up with their regular abilities as much as possible. I'm thinking it might be better to just leave these guys in. Well, guys and girls, whatever. I say guys, dudes, whatever. People. Leave these people in. But then when you say these people, some people take offense to that. But you know what? When we leave our workers in there, they're going to get trained up. It's going to take them a couple of days, right? So I think this was one of the first ones we did. Yeah, so she's a strength of 7. I'm trying to remember, how does that work? Yeah, the training schedule gets longer and longer the higher the stats go. So if I'm remembering things correctly, she'll be fully trained in a couple of days. So that's not too big of a deal if we get Jacob going back out there for a couple of days, because once he comes back, hopefully he, goes out and gets us some great stuff, like he always does. He's good. He's a good worker for that. And oh my goodness, are you serious? Maybe not that one. So, anyways, I'll do that off camera because that's not very exciting. But yeah, we do need to re-equip our people. This, I'm very tempted to give this to Jacob because it increases endurance. Endurance lets them stay out in the wasteland longer. But his other stats, those stats are so bad, he needs the points. He needs the points. So, and I think when the hit points go up, the outfit does count. Last time I checked, it does count. You might want to double check that before you make a serious decision on that. But if it doesn't, then the leather suit will be a waste compared to the power armor. We'll just keep him in the power armor for now. He's going to level up. He's going to go up to 50. And he's not going to have the greatest hit points. He's going to have less than half. We'll have him be an adventurer, and then maybe we'll retire him or something, or put him on quests, because then he'll have a group to draw from. So, but hopefully he can go out and make new friends. This charisma really hasn't clicked in yet at all. He hasn't found a special location while he's been out there yet. He hasn't made any friends, but we're pretty tight. We can only hold one more person. I'm only going to allow one more person maximum, and only if they're legendary or rare or named, or, you know what I mean, named, like a special character. From the series, you get special characters from the series, and they're usually legendary. But, yeah. So we're going to send him back out. All right, you get a good, you good there, Jacob? I think he's ready to go back out. Look at him. He's so happy. All right, buddy. We're going to send you back out since you love being out there so much. Yeah, that's all the best. Double check. Everything's the... Yeah, everything's definitely the best. Go explore, buddy. We could... See, I'm tempted to just make another... Let's give that to you. Make another training room, because now that we have that +7 suit back in the water treatment, we only really need like 2 people in here. So, do we have another handyman suit? I thought we did. Ah, there we go. So, they all have +3s. What do you have? A +2? Yeah, he's a +2 with his king suit, whatever it's called. Medieval ruler. Whatever. It doesn't matter. We don't really need that suit. That's more for sending people out or whatever. 5-point suits that have it spread out across three statistics are usually better to send people out in, but not all the time. They're not always the most useful. Charisma's not a stat that's really used much in Fallout, which is kind of a shame because communication skills are extremely important. But whatever, we're not going to worry about it. Jacob's out there. We have all our people. We're making, look at our production. With our 5 people. No, I didn't click that guy. What are you doing? Did we pull anyone from any of these rooms? Why do I keep thinking we pulled somebody from one of these rooms? Oh, we exchanged him. That's right. Right? Yeah, we exchanged him. So, do we have another fancy thing so I can... Yeah, there we go. So, now I know him, her, and him are definitely people that need to stay in there. There are supervisors that are training right now. Special training protocols, which you usually want to do. So, do we get any more of those military things? This is a good thing to check when your people come back. No, we didn't get any more of these military fatigues. We did get a handyman jumpsuit, so that was helpful. We're having a bit of a rough time with strength here. We're not getting a lot of we're not getting a lot. Like, we're getting kind of the bare minimum as far as I'm concerned. Anyways, did we get any of these challenges? Oh yeah, we need to scrap stuff. All right, I'll show you how I scrap things so that everyone can get an idea. How many do we need to scrap? 6? All right. So when we scrap, we're going to produce extra junk, in theory. Like this rusty 32 pistol, that's as bad as it gets. We're probably not going to get anything from it. It's that little recycle symbol. See, no junk recovered. We're probably going to get a little bit of stuff from here. Nope. Or not. Scrapping these, at this point, it's kind of a tricky prospect to scrap outfits. Because you want to keep 6 typically for each room. And combat armor is actually quite good to send random explorers out in. Something's going. There we go. So we need 3 more. I'm just gonna pause for a moment. I'm gonna go through everybody's weapons and then we'll come back. I don't want to have you guys wait for that. Okay, so I went through our weapons. It's usually better to scrap weapons if you're just trying to get rid of stuff for these little challenges. There we go again. Come on. All right, you're ready to kick some butt, aren't you? Sharon, get in there. Get in there and give them hell. All right, so while they're doing that, fortunately, we can do this. So I got rid of a lot of these pistols. We're probably not going to get any junk from them. We did get our 7. Okay, I was counting properly. That's good. They got this. We don't have to worry about that. Collect 1,000. Oh my goodness. They're really, really pushing the quests. And they're pushing crafting the weapons. So this is pretty much locked up on us right now. It's going to reset at some point today, but we are not getting favorable ones. And it costing 2 quantum just to get rid of one of these is not worth it to me. That's a ridiculous cost considering how much I'm clicking. Do we want to whatever, it's 3 to 4, I guess. So just quick inventory management. We have 35 out of 85. That's putting us in a pretty good spot, actually. We could probably get rid of these. I got rid of all the pistols that everybody has. Everybody has at least like a rusty lever action. I'll probably find someone who can use that, but I'll do that a little bit later. Outfits, you gotta be careful scrapping outfits in the beginning, because when your priorities change in your rooms, or say we got attacked. See, we got attacked. We lost a bunch of food. See, we might need to pull one of our agility people, for example, if our food got real messed up, with some kind of emergency, they had a serious problem. You want to make sure that you have the right gear. Like, these merc gear, these are supposed to be good for explorers, people say. But who knows, right? But you could go through and say, okay, agility, I want to give her the agility thing, so she'll be like a backup. She'll be the person that comes in. It actually won't be her, because she has a lower agility. It would most likely be one of these individuals here. Why do you have that when you're an agility person? Right? So she has a 7. Yeah, so we'll give that to her. She'll be backup. It's good to have someone ready to be backup for these rooms. So if you need to put another person in there, you can be like, oh yeah, Laura. Laura has the Raider gear, so we can put her in the diner and get caught up. I think our production is good enough. We don't have to worry about it right now. That is kind of lower, though. They took a lot of food. But we'll just try to keep her in there, because, their agility is not great. Brandon's is all right. I think he's the one that we swapped out. But we will be replacing them. Or, not replacing them, but we'll be swapping them out. Like, this is one of the things, you get your training, you get your most trained people on the floor doing the work for highest efficiency operations, and you get them in the specialized things that they are best at. 9 times out of 10, if you put somebody in a job that they love doing, they will do better at it. Some people are just kind of useless. They don't want to be there. They cause trouble. They gossip. They complain all the time. It's good to talk to them, see if you could fix their issues. If the issues can't get fixed, then perhaps that is not the right job for them. Some people simply work jobs because they need the money, but if their work environment is very tough, then their happiness goes down. Hopefully you can find a better spot for them. Sometimes they just need variety. Maybe they're bored. Maybe they need a new challenge. Maybe they need new training. Maybe they want to get cross-trained. Cross-training is something that we're going to be doing in the future, especially for... Actually, the first people to be cross-trained are the ones that are going to be in the power room. So once we have 10s across the board here, and we're still going to be training our strength primary people, we can start cross-training them into perception and agility. Why do we do that? So when we do that, they're going to be much more effective fighters when we raise our population and have to deal with like mole rats and stronger raiders, and then there's going to be like feral ghouls or something that come after that. And feral ghouls come in fast, and they come in numbers, and your people need to be able to take care of them quickly. So why is perception important in that case? Well, reiterate, perception strength makes them hit harder and do more damage, right? Perception gets them to hit more often, and they do better criticals. It has to do with critical hits. That is more of a factor in location, pop-up special locations that you find, and in quests that we're going to be doing later. And also agility allows them to attack more often. So if we're looking at Nathan right here, he's agility of 1, which is not very good. It's as bad as it can be. So when we bring that agility to 10, he's going to be attacking way more often. With the perception, he's going to be hitting more often. And with the high strength, he's going to be doing as much damage as he can, especially when we start improving the outfits to +5s and +7s. Once he is a +7, military fatigue variant, he's going to be doing maximum damage. So that's going to be a real asset to us. And the cross training is good for people. Some people seem to be happier when they're cross trained too. And then you can kind of switch them between jobs because it doesn't really matter, right? You can take Anthony over here, and if he's cross trained, you can throw him in the diner. You're like, oh, you want to work in the diner for a while? It's like, yeah, sure. You just got to keep an eye on their happiness to see. Like, Anthony loves it. He loves it there. Cynthia, Charles, they're 100% happy. And let's have a quick look. Whoop. Uh-oh. All right, get on it, ladies. Go get those rad roaches. Get those bugs. We're going to keep them here. I should have this cleared out. Look at how fast they come out. We could use another robot, I think, on this level. Really, we should put it on this level. But I actually don't like putting the robot on the first level because he keeps rushing the enemies in here. He's a little bit too brave for his own good. And then he gets beat up, and they cost like 2,000 caps to repair when they're destroyed. And that's a bit of cash for us right now. So it's better to just equip our people up here, make sure they're solid. We have this training room. You know, we can like grab Justin or Sharon, be like, hey, Sharon, we need your help. She jumps in. We got a full 6 people in here. We can deal with the issues as they come. You know what? We're just going to give her that one. Could probably give her a better one, but it's not a big deal right now. It's not a requirement. It's not an important requirement. Okay, so we covered training, we covered scrapping. Oh, I did find the recipes for the different weapons and outfits that we're likely to be making. So I don't want this junk to accumulate too much. The blue and the gold we're probably going to hold on to. We're holding on to alarm clocks because we need those for the rusty laser pistols and the plasma rifles. So, right? Yeah. So we're going to keep those for sure. Glue is usually for outfits. Stuff like the baseball glove and the yarn, those are easy to get rid of. And they're also easy to get back if we scrap outfits, because a lot of the outfits are made out of those. So we could always find that out. But right now, we're in a decent spot. We actually kind of have a few extra of these. So let's see, because battle armor means they'll take less damage. Combat armor means they will get more attacks. Well, right now, we don't have to worry so much about the damage, right? Like, they're getting into attacks, they're barely taking any damage. So we want them to be able to attack more often. So we're just going to optimize that a little bit so that they get more attacks more often. I kind of want to give her one of them too, if we're going to be pulling her into the combats. But I also want to identify her with perception-based gear. This is another gear that's good early game for exploring because it does have the +2 to endurance and the +1 to perception. But you know what? We'll leave it. We don't need it. We don't need to worry about that right now. She's easy enough to see. She's yellow. So yeah, if anybody has any questions or comments, suggestions, or wondering how this relates to supply chain, you know, like I said, it's a simulator. It's not perfect. It is a video game. But there are some very good lessons that we can learn from this game, surprisingly enough, from a free mobile game, you know? So, I mean, even the robot with the automation, right? He's bringing those stats back up. And there are actually ways that you can maximize the robot's usage. You can actually, like, make a break in the wall so that they only go 2 rooms, and that actually increases the production because there's less wait time, of course, and it actually makes a difference. So when things get tight, you're able to check. All right, Jacob's already picked up some loot. He's already dealt with a bad dog. And he's going to be out there, for the better part of the day, maybe tomorrow. Hopefully, he'll be able to pick up some great loot for us. We did have to upgrade our depot, but, that's necessary. We can leave, I think, everything else alone. At some point, we might want to upgrade the water and the diner, but those are going to take more power, and I want to leave the flexibility for different rooms for now. Yeah, the classroom is not a priority right now because we only have one explorer, so the medical production is where it is. At some point, we're probably just going to make like a 2-wide or a 3-wide when we have more people. I wonder how that works if you get an additional one. How did they say it worked? I think they said it's +5 per one room. You start off with 5, and then you get an additional 5 for the Radaway production and the Stimpak production. Doesn't matter how upgraded it is. See, we did upgrade it thinking the storage would be there. But, we need Stimpaks a little bit more than Radaway right now, so that's okay. So that works out. And then we'll be able to create larger rooms later. I don't want to actually destroy anything on this run through. I want to keep everything as it is because in reality, well, I guess you could always repurpose a room. That's not a huge deal. It's just renovations. But we'll cross that bridge when we get to it. Anyways, we will call it there for now. And hope you're enjoying the series so far. I'm enjoying making it and sharing some of my experience. And like I said, any questions, anything that needs to be related, some people might say, oh, what about just in time? Just in time doesn't really apply in this situation. This is more of an open system. It's more of a push system with our production. When we have a pull on our secondary resources, essentially, and we have a push system with our power, so that's pretty much straightforward. But anyways, I'll leave you to it, and we will be back just a moment with our next installment. We'll see you then. Hello, everyone. Just a quick update. So I have been clicking the training on our individuals, and it looks like, as far as perception's concerned, our Justin is lagging a little bit behind because he did go on that mission, that exploration mission, and the other 3 all have perceptions of 7 now. They've been training up, and they're... Oh, I better get that. I'm going to speak to that in a moment. So their training is 12 hours, which is a little unfortunate because that's going to be in the middle of the night. But there's going to be a little bit of waste in the training, and that's to be expected because I can't stay awake 24 hours and do this, and manipulating the situation and moving people back and forth is quite honestly more work than I think is really necessary. And I mean, it is a game, it's supposed to be fun, so let's keep it that way. On strength, Sarah is pulling ahead. She's an 8. She's been staying in the training for the last couple days. The other individuals all appear to have, well, these 2 have 7s, and Anna has a 6. So that's moving right along. As far as agility is concerned, they're both at 7s. I think we're all at 7s. Oh, she's a 6. Evelyn is a 6. And then we have our extra 2 with their agilities, both at 6 as well. So the training's coming along well. we are making a small sacrifice for gear right now because they're not out exploring. They're not out. I didn't go get the quest, the overseer's room, and do the quest, and then, we're running. It'll be even tighter with our power situation. I have noticed that we are slightly losing power when I'm not paying attention to this. I was paying a little bit more attention earlier in the day because I had the time to do that. And now that I was busy for the last hour or so, I noticed that it did dip down. So that's the automation, the lack of automation, that's doing that there. But with the attention, this is more of a managerial perspective. The manager needs to keep more of an eye on what's going on because that automation is not being put there. There isn't a set process, a method of making sure that things are being done. It can be normal human behavior to want to take a break. Oh, we're done. Oh, we'll just take a break. You're like, nobody gave you a break, but you're just going to take one because you worked. But there does need to be a level of automation. There needs to be a level of responsibility and regularity and routine and schedule that needs to be built into it. So we're seeing the difference here. And we do have 5 individuals in our power room. Let's take a little bit of a look at them. So Peter was in there because he was working in the medical room, but we did need a little bit more horsepower, so to speak, a little bit more manpower, people power in here. And Nathan, I think, was our original. No, I wasn't even clicking her. And one of them was the original, and the other one was trained up a bit, and we moved him over due to necessity of requirements. And I think Donna was the same. She was trained up to a 5. It's easy to get trained up to 5. It's pretty quick. You can do it in about a day or so if you're paying regular attention to it every hour or so. And Jerry's in the same boat as, are we going to click him? Jerry's in the same boat as Peter. They're both entry level with regular, normal starting skill levels. So in essence, we have 3 people with 5s and 2 people with 2s. So, and she has less of a bonus because of her outfit. So that's the only real reason. But they're handling combat. They're staying on top of things. There is a little bit of slight concern. There needs to be more attention put towards it. And that's going to be a little bit better sorted out as the additional training comes in and as the higher levels of productivity are put into place. The automation it's a very simplified version of having good processes like SOPs, KPIs, metrics, making sure that the system is working properly. And then the people are kind of the broad strokes of just being able to get the work done, like having the ability to do it. So when you have the ability and the training and the focus with the automation, so let's look here. I mean, overall, there's less individuals in these rooms, and they have less, what would you call it, ability, less training, and they're still maintaining high levels of productivity. So this automation is making up for that. That's why you might encounter some businesses who have higher turnover or higher seasonality, or they regularly have turnover with people, or they kind of limit the training with people. They tend to use a lot of automation. They use more sophisticated ERP systems and MRP systems, or have different kinds of management styles or check-ins or metrics that are checked, like with a scanner. The supervisors, instead of being, you know, checking in management by walking around, visual management, as the case would be more suited for the power plant, they have more of a checking what people are scanning, how much time they're taking, you know, what kind of issues are they logging. It's more automated. I personally like both of those things simultaneously because I find that having a personal touch and actually being there in the production area is very important when I've run teams and projects. But it's interesting to see the contrast here and to see how the productivity is represented, albeit in a more simplified fashion. But as an educational or a simulation or a sort of a research and demonstration sense, it's actually doing quite a good job at showing the simplicities of those actions. So I'm quite happy with how things are turning out. I'm glad that they didn't change the game too much. I'm doing my best not to get too hung up. Everybody likes lunch boxes. Everybody wants the prize at the, you know, the bottom of the cereal box kind of a thing. We're not really going to be able to do too much of this. I got rid of this one, I think it was, and this came up, upgrade 4 rooms. We're not going to be upgrading right now. We're focusing on training. And for clarification of definitions, what we're doing right now is we are doing our best to maintain a lean work environment. We're not sending in all of these investments in the rooms, the equipment, the machines. We're using what we have for the most part. We did have to upgrade the power production because that is our operation number one, so to speak. So wanted to make sure that this was driving everything else and making sure that everything had the resources it needed to be fully functional. Because if you do run out of power, then how it used to be is the rooms farthest away start to shut down. And then they start to shut down more and more and more. So in a way, it's almost good that it's the training, and it's actually a little coincidental that it's the strength room that'll likely be shut down first. But we don't have to let that happen. So Sarah Harper is going to be trained up in the next couple of days fully to a 10 in her strength. And then we are most likely going to trade off one of the military fatigues to her. So she's going to have a 13 total. So she's going to be 6 times over, about 6 times more productive than someone without the right equipment. And now the right equipment, the outfits kind of represent, your gear, your tools, material handling equipment, specialized machines, having the right kind of tools to do the right kind of work. It's a bonus. It helps you maintain better productivity. In some cases, the machines are more important, that they work properly depending on specifications and tolerances and customer requirements. But all in all, this is fairly representative of supply chain, in my opinion. It's actually there's an elegance in the simplicity of how they put this together, and I just wanted to point that out. But yes, we are running lean right now. We are effectively, as the steps go, we start off with 5S. So what we did with 5S is, you know what? Actually, I'm going to read those out to you guys so you know what they are. So they are originally Japanese words, as this methodology was developed. Well, further developed. It started with Henry Ford and is further developed by such companies as Toyota, who has arguably near perfected the system with their Toyota production system, which also moves into lean. But I wanted to point out the stepping stones. So we start off with 5S, which consists of, as the translations are, sort, set in order. So sort is putting things in the right spot, putting your tools back in the same spot. Set in order is putting things in order, having lists, having sequences that make sense and work properly. Shine is keeping things safe and clean. Standardize is making sure that everybody's doing things very close to the same way, and making sure that that way is a better way of doing things. And sustain is to make sure that it keeps happening, that everyone's doing it day after day, and it's not just, just on Mondays we do everything right, and then the rest of the week everything goes off the rails, which I have seen, and you can very closely see the relationships to what happened there. And then the next step in the improvement cycle is Kaizen, which is another Japanese term for good change, roughly translated. And that's about looking for improvements that can be done to make things work better. So Kaizen would be to upgrade the power plant, because we saw that it was diminishing its output, and essentially there was no drawbacks for upgrading it aside from upfront cost, because we don't have to power the power plant like we do everything else. All these other upgrades take more energy, when the upgrades to the power plant makes more energy, makes more power. So there's no drawbacks, and now it's fully upgraded. It's the only room that's fully upgraded, but that was the correct improvement to make. And another part of the Kaizen would be the training, is we are doing a good change, and we are training our people instead of going around and buying a bunch of stuff and having a storeroom that has a huge amount of room that we don't need. Plus, it's usually good to keep your inventory small and keep your quality high. And so that's part of the Kaizen. Now, with Lean, we're keeping these rooms small so that they're easily to handle. Oh, there's that guy. Oh, wow, we just got a whole bunch. Nice. That's a Mysterious Stranger, I think. And so with Lean, we're keeping things lean. We're not putting a lot of investment into the production cycle and the company. We're not putting more than is required. Like, we're looking at it as Lean is about the removal of waste and making sure that the value is the priority. So the value that we are producing is, well, sustaining our system, of course, maintaining the high quality of our morale with our workers is another part of it, because this productivity comes back and it rewards us again. So it's, oh, more raiders. It's something that has like a cyclical nature that will reinvest back into the business, as do a lot of Lean improvements. Because reducing the waste, like if we had 3 water rooms and like we didn't have anyone in some of them, there was constantly emergencies, and it was taking up our time, and it was reducing our overall output when we don't even really need it. That would be waste. There's an acronym called downtime and TIMWOODS. So you can look into those separately. I don't want to go too much into the weeds here, but that talks about the wastes of overproduction and the waste that can happen in a production cycle, that are opportunities for improvement or reduction, or lateral moves as well, just doing something a little bit different. So what kind of loot do we get? Oh, we got formal wear. That's not bad. If we need to rush a room, that will assist us. And then beyond Lean, there's Six Sigma, which we probably aren't going to get into. Six Sigma is 3.4 defects or less in a million opportunities. So that's a very high standard. That's a standard that aerospace and certain pharmaceuticals and surgery and very, very precise situations need to maintain. And I would even argue food manufacturing and distribution, as I have experience with those in both operations and inventory and quality and leadership and training, and maintaining a high level of standard, solved a lot of problems and prevented a lot of problems. So it would be advisable in those situations. And then after that, right at the top is design for Six Sigma, which is when you design the whole system optimized from the beginning. So that would be if, in a way we kind of incorporated that because I've already played this game and I already understand how everything works. For the most part, there's been some changes and, my memory isn't perfect, but we've made some adaptations and we've made all the training rooms to a certain spot, and things are in a reasonably efficient manner. I mean, our automation is taking care of 4 out of the 5 rooms that we have. So we're keeping that efficient, and we can always redesign our vault when we get more caps. I usually do that because I find that if you get like 3 robots and you have them on 3 levels where you do all of your production, that can be very beneficial. So we'll just come back out of the weeds and we'll see how Jacob's doing. Oh, wow, Jacob's got a lot of stuff. So we started off with some kind of meh stuff. Enhanced hunting rifle, not bad. Some junk. But he got us military fatigues, which is really good. We can really use that. The +3 outfits for rooms are amazing. And he also picked up wasteland gear. So +3 for endurance, and that will be useful for exploring. That'll be useful for quests to maintain hit points and health and resistance against radiation. And it'll also be good for the Nuka-Cola bottler down the road. But at that point, we're probably going to have something higher than a +3. And arguably, I've heard that when you level up a vault dweller, or in this case, or a worker, or however you want to look at them, if you put this gear on them, they will actually get like +3 hit points or something like that. Like, it will increase their hit point total. So that will give us an option to do that if we know we're going to have to level someone up. We could put this gear on them and, incrementally assist them in gaining a little bit more hit points. I don't know if I want to go into that much detail and micromanagement on things. I prefer to have broad stroke systems that work, 99% of the time, and not have to micromanage things unless things really require it. So we'll say about 90% of the time. There will be a little bit of waste. There will be a little bit of this and that, but the more you zero in on those improvements, the more time it takes. And, to be completely honest, I don't want to go into that much detail. It's a little bit more fidgeting than I want to do right now, but I'll show you how to do the broad strokes systems. I think that would be more helpful. If you want to do the micromanagement, I'll leave it to you. So we did get a rusty laser pistol, so that's top-end common weapon or equipment, however you want to look at it. So that's going to be a big bonus, and more combat armor. But overall, I think we're actually getting better things than we did before. Jacob has been adventuring for 10 hours now, and he's only used, I think, 1 of each, Stimpak and Radaway. Already has 1,000 caps. His level's gone from, I think it was 30 to 34. So his hit points are gaining, his experience is gaining, and he's getting better at what he's doing. Even though we have not increased his statistics through training yet, I think that the hardened combat shotgun is allowing him to win combat quicker and to utilize higher levels of rewards. If you're able to resolve a conflict quicker, in many cases you can get more benefit, you can get more rewards. So those kinds of things are being represented. So right now we're good with our power. We do have our people training. It's going to take probably another day or two, full day or two, to realize our first level 10 Vault Dwellers. And then we're going to start swapping people out just to maintain absolutely optimum levels of production. Because in this case, overproduction, which is one of the lean wastes, it's a O from downtime, or from Tim Woods, it's one of the O's, overproduction. We don't have to worry about overproduction. Everything just kind of falls off and it disappears. But when we get better rooms or we upgrade the rooms, then we will be able to have a larger capacity for safety stock, as we did with our power room. But as you'll notice, like, these are all kind of in the same spot right now, because the power room, remember, is treated a little bit differently than the rest of the rooms. So I think that's a pretty good spot. I think even with some of the changes in the game, with not only the options for rewards, but the the options for the objectives, but the options for the rewards, I think we're still maintaining a good productivity level. We're being a little bit delayed overall in our growth from a quantitative aspect, like a numerical value of, more or less, but our qualitative value, the quality of our workers and of our system, is getting better. Like, our daily report was 93%. And I mean, everything over 90, as far as I'm concerned, is a win. So we're doing very well. I know I keep clicking. I'm a little bit of a micromanager. I just see it there. I'm present. I want to be more engaged. So yeah, we're going to have to deal with another raider attack. But overall, and I mean, raider attacks you could see as threats from another company, smear campaigns, misinformation. Maybe they have an aggressive ad campaign. You could look at them in those kinds of capacities, like, oh, don't go with Vault 333. Those guys, it's a small company. They only have 28 people. Don't you want to work with us raiders with our big swords? Something like that. I've seen some actually fairly brutal advertisement campaigns between certain companies. And see, look, they're already taken care of. Oh, nice. That's a pretty good rifle. Can anybody use that right now? So one thing I do like about... We'll just grab these. Can I grab these? Hello. There we go. So one thing I do like is the visual management of the weapons, is that you can just look at it and you know what classification of weapon it is. You know what family, or like product family, if you want to look at it that way, it is. So we know that this lever action rifle is probably not as good as that bolt action rifle. And in turn, if there was... I don't think anybody has pistols anymore. I think we're able to upgrade beyond that. I think the lever action rifles are about the lowest grade we have, which is a little bit of a misnomer, I think. Slight misrepresentation, as lever actions can actually be just as powerful, if not more powerful, than a bolt action, but that's splitting hairs. Shotgun works on a completely different kind of damaging system, but, for simplicity, it'll work. It'll work for us. So far, I hope you guys enjoyed the update, and I'm going to be, of course, checking on our Vault Dwellers when I can and getting those upgrades ready. But one advantage of them being with this kind of high-level training is that you don't need to pay as much attention. I mean, 2 hours. I could even just look at it that way. I could prioritize my time and optimize my situation. So if I know that I don't need to check it for 2 hours, yeah, I don't need to check it for 2 hours. So I could set an alarm on my phone, okay, 2 hours. We have some training that's going to be done, and then after that, I think it's going to be 4 hours, but I'm going to be asleep by then because it is getting later in the day, and I get up rather early. So yeah, of course, any questions about any of these concepts or any kind of clarification you need with the game, be sure to ask. And for now, we're going to put things on pause. Or where are we at? Oh, we're hitting that time. So we're going to close off this video. Thanks for watching. Of course, be sure to like, subscribe. It really helps out the channel. And it helps me know that I'm doing something of value for my customers, you, my viewers. And it helps if you comment. Positive, productive, constructive comments only, please. And that helps the channel as well, and that will motivate me to make more videos like this in the future. And yeah, that's pretty much it. So thanks for watching, and we'll see you next time.